they show pictures of men, three men, two who are African American and one who is not. The two African Americans were, all three of them had the same charges against them. And when you read the article, you see that some injustice did occur because the white gentleman wound up having to plead, being allowed to plead to a misdemeanor, and the two African American gentlemen were not. They were left with felonious records, and you all know what happens when you have felonies on your records. Those felonies will travel with you for the rest of your life, and you will not have an opportunity to work, raise your family, and rehabilitate yourself and do the kinds of things that most good citizens want to do. And I'm not suggesting that the fact that they were in possession of breaking the law should be excused. But I am saying, though, that if you're going to prosecute somebody, prosecute everybody the same way for the same things. And then there was this morning's paper, more of the same. Getting off easy for some. She's a felon, he's not. Same offense, different charge. That does not work for anybody in this county, and we have got to make it stop one way or the other. There are some other concerns that I have. Open discovery. Everybody's heard that that's a big issue. We need to talk about how we can make sure that open discovery is guaranteed in our county. Not promised to some and not to others, but guaranteed. A few other headlines. May 5th, 2003 headlines. 6 years finding no case. This case was transferred to Cuyahoga County by the Summit County Prosecutor. A 6-year-old ethics charge is hanging over former Macedonian Mayor Joseph Migliorini. He was accused of using his position as mayor and chair of the City Planning Commission to promote the sale of land he owned. No prosecution. The case was never prosecuted because he says they didn't have enough staff. There are 200 attorneys in the county prosecutor's office. How could you not have enough staff to prosecute? Dateline February 25th, 2007. Cuyahoga County's criminal justice system needs reform. Its dysfunction harms defendants, taxpayers, and credibility, said Cleveland Plain Dealer. That concerns me as well. Dysfunction, office, 200 attorneys. I don't understand how that can happen in our county. State versus McDonald, 153 Ohio Ave. 3rd, 679. I'm reading the cite on that case. It was published. It was decided August 14, 2003. The appellate court decided that McDonald was denied a speedy trial as mandated by the U.S. Constitution. Conviction vacated. That's very embarrassing. And that's our county. That's our county prosecutor's office. Dateline October 9th, 2008. Teenage victim denied opportunity to see man sentenced for rape threats. Now, Channel 19 ran this on one of its news blogs, but I went online to look up the case, and it's even more embarrassing. I am going to suggest to this audience that we have an honorable prosecutor, we have some honorable prosecutors, but something is very wrong, and maybe it's the style. Maybe it's the commitment, maybe it's the practicing fairness that I've done for 24 years that's missing from the county prosecutor's office. Well, I'd like to add it to the county prosecutor's office. I would like to be your next county prosecutor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Butler. Now we will have an initial opening remark from Mr. Mason.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here before you all today. I thought I'd start off and talk to you a little bit about who I am, where I've been, and what I've been doing. I'm married to my wife, Carol. Her and I have been together for 23 years. I have 4 children, ages 21, 19, 15, and 12, and they keep us very busy. I am the 10th child of a family of 16. I was raised in Parma, Ohio. I went to the Parma Public Schools. I went to Kent State University and graduated from Cleveland State in 1986 in law school. I passed the bar in 1986, and I went on to work shortly thereafter for John T. Corrigan, who hired me to work in the county prosecutor's office, and then Stephanie Tubbs-Jones when she preceded him. In 1992, I left the office. I left the office to become an elected official in the city of Parma. I became a councilman and began my own private practice of practicing law. In In 1994, I got elected to be the chief prosecutor, law director of the city of Parma, and carried that position until 1999. In 1999, I had the opportunity and was appointed to be the county prosecutor. The very next year I was on the ballot. In 2000, I faced the voters in 2000, was elected as the county prosecutor in 2000, and again in 2004. Virtually my entire professional career has been that of a prosecutor, and experience matters in this job. It's hard to believe that I've been here for 10 years in this capacity. My oldest daughter, who's now a senior in college when I took this job, was an 8th grader when I took over this job. It's really, over the past 10 years, you look back to see where you've been and what you've accomplished, it's kind of amazing to believe. But it's been 10 years, and I oversee a budget in Cuyahoga County of $23 million, 330 employees, and I've earned a reputation around the county and around the state as a tough prosecutor, but a fair prosecutor. We are in the business of holding people accountable for their actions. That's what we do. 70% of everything we do in this office is around criminal activity. This office is one of the most respected offices in the state of Ohio, and we have been recognized nationally for some of the programs that we promote and do. I've expanded the role of the county prosecutor to different levels, different things that the current prosecutors and the prosecutors before me had done. In 2000, I created the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force for Cuyahoga County to protect our children from the new evils of the Internet, the predators trying to get to our children in their bedrooms and in their homes. In 2003, we had done such a good job with the ICAC here in our county that the Department of Justice asked me if I would expand what we do here in Cuyahoga County and do it throughout the state and become the chairman for the Ohio Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. I agreed to do that. Today, we have 270 law enforcement officers operating in 88 counties, trolling the Internet on a daily basis. They're on the Internet, they're talking to the predators, they're trapping the predators, they're working against these people who are trying to get to our children. We prosecute cases that are referred to us by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They come in, they forward these cases to us that happen in our state. We prosecute them. We have a 100% conviction rate on those cases. We educate parents and children against the harms and the evils of the Internet. We're out in the schools, we're out in the public teaching people about the Internet. In 2006, I received an award from the National ICAC, a leadership award for the way we've run our programs. In 2005, I created and formed a task force on mortgage fraud. Mortgage fraud became pretty prevalent in this community going back to about 2002. It has devastated our community. We formed a task force with the feds, the locals, postal workers, everybody we put on this task force to curb this crime. We have prosecuted to date 170 defendants. They are brokers, real estate agents, buyers, sellers, appraisers. Everybody involved in these transactions have been prosecuted. The value of the prosecutions are $50 million in real estate property, over 340 houses in this county. And just last week we indicted the guy that I think was most culpable for devastating Slavic Village, Mark Kellogg, who has some 125 properties that he's flipped in that community. If you've ever been in that community, it's disgusting to watch what's happened in the community as a result of mortgage fraud, but we're on it. In 2004, after I'd been seated for a little while, I'm comfortable in the position that we're at, I started and worked for justice system reform. We went out to an institute by the name of Justice Management Institute out of California. We asked them to come into our county and look at what we do, look at our justice system, and criticize it. Tell us, make some recommendations for change. They did that. 2004, they came back with some recommendations, 36 recommendations. I have been the leader in this justice reform to make sure those 36 recommendations are being followed through with. There are many stakeholders, from the bottom all the way to the reentry of the defendants back in our community who are very involved with it. And I'm proud to say that we're working good together and making things happen. As an example, we've got some pilot projects that are operating in the city of Parma Municipal Court, Shaker Municipal Court, Lakewood Municipal Court, Cleveland's 2nd District, and 4th District. And what we're trying to do is bring things in quicker. We require in those places for the police department, within 48 hours of an arrest on a felony, to bring the paperwork down to the county